CSS with a coverage of the box model. Well, what is the box model? The CSS box model describes the rectangular boxes that are generated for elements in the document. Boxes have a content area, padding, borders, and a margin. So that's what the box model is made up of. Let's go look at a little, we've got a little tutorial on this in the VT 1400 section. And if we go to CSS and click on the box model, you can see that. So a great visualization of that is you have your content area, and then surrounding that content area you have your padding area, your border area, and then your margin area. And really the overall width and height of an element is made up of a sum of all those elements. So if you went left to right, your total width would be this element, this element, this element, and this element. Let's go through a little example that will help you better understand and as well as visualize what's happening with that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my text wrangler. I'm going to make the text display a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm typing. And we'll go ahead and build this from scratch. We haven't done that for a time or two. So doc type, HTML. We'll go with HTML. Head. In the head, what we're going to have is we're going to have two things. We're going to put our title. Let's name this box model. So we have our title, and we're going to put our styles in here. So we're going to go style, type equals quote text slash CSS quote bracket. And then if we close out that style, we can do that. So let's go ahead and add some styles in here. The first style that I want to add in here is a class for box. So if I go period box curly brace, I'm going to go ahead and add some elements. So in our box class, we're going to call the first one width property, and the value for that, let's go ahead and set our value on that at 300 px. Height, we'll set our value on that at 200 px. Padding, we'll set to 10 px. Border, we'll set to 1 px, solid, and dark gray. So we did multiple declarations inside that border. So what we're going to get is a solid 1 pixel line that's dark gray with that. The next thing we're going to do is our margin. And we'll set our margin to 15 px. Go ahead and close that. We'll close our style. We've already got our style closed. And let's close our head. And let's start our HTML document now inside the body of the document. So body. So the next thing we can do inside of our body, we can call this class. So we can do that by saying div space class equals quote box quote bracket. And we can say something like welcome or hello box model slash div. And then we go ahead and close out our body. So let's see what this produces. So we've got this little thing. We're going to call it boxmodel.html. Let's go ahead and click save. Let's drag this box model into the browser, and we should have something that looks like that. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this size down just a little bit. We can play with that. Well, let's look at some of these elements. Let's first of all play with our height. Let's say we wanted our height to go to, say, 800 px. I'll go ahead and save that, refresh, and now our box, is 800 wide. Now what if we wanted to go 500 on height? Save that, refresh. And so we got an 800 by 500 box at that point. What if we wanted to set our border to, say, 6 pixels solid? Now we've got kind of a thick edge around the side. And what color do we want to set that? Let's go to a little bit different color in all of that. So we lightened out the gray. Now, what if we wanted a bigger margin? We wanted to go 25 on our margin. We'll go ahead and save that. Hit refresh. Now, where do you expect that? Well, it pushed it here and here. So that's kind of the exterior of the box. So your margin is the exterior of the box. That's this right here. Outside of that border line. This line is the border. If I set my border to, let's double its size so you can kind of get an idea of what that's going to do. Set it back to 2 pixels if we want. So that's our border. So we have margin outside of the border, then we have border, and then we have padding on the inside, and then content. So what if we set our padding from 10 to, let's go something large like, say, 60 px. Hit refresh, and that brings all of that out, but it also increases the overall size of the element in relation to what's happening on the rest of the page as the document builds out. Those are the basic elements then that you get in with the box model. Now what we can do by way of arithmetic on this, you have a total width that's made up of your left margin, this space here, the width of the left border, so this space here, the width of the left padding, so that space there, the overall width of the document, so this here, which is really in your content area, the right padding, which would be from here to here, the right border, which is this, and then the right margin. So if you added all of those up, that would be the total size of the element, and you could run the calculation on that.